Well, hello everybody. I'm eating some chicken nuggets. I hope that doesn't bother anybody. I'm now using my phone as the webcam while I work here and broadcast from my desktop. It's through a piece of software that I have to put on my phone, I have to put on my computer. I run in the background so I can connect into it using OBS. Hopefully nothing will crash. But we're continuing on with this guy, the chair. We got to this point before I had to go. But I think what we're going to wind up doing is going here into the seat cushions and changing the color of the leather, to be honest. I think it's a little 1940s looking. So I'm gonna basically come in here and turn it black instead of brown. I just think it'll have a more sci-fi future feel to it instead of, you know, that kind of retro kind of vibe. Also, I think I'm going to change the other brown here into kind of a lighter gray. We still have edge wear, but it won't be as brown. And in fact, there's another one here that's tan. That will now be more of a gray, a light gray. And I think just overall, it gives a different feel to the chair, which I think just has a little more appropriate mood. One of these, I think it's this one, still feels brown to me. So we're going to take it completely desaturated. Trying to get rid of any of the redness that I'm kind of seeing in here and just make it more of a gray to black color. One of these still has a decent amount of red in here, so I think it's this guy. So it looks a little better. It just feels more like a black chair. Matter of fact, I'm going to take this one probably all the way down to black, to where sections will be black, and parts of it are, of course, more of a gray. I think that's a bit better. Doesn't feel like something out of Indiana Jones, you know, that 40s kind of vibe, which is cool, but it's just not meant for this, I don't think. All right, so we have the green chair metal, which we've got. We've got these chair side panels, which we have not taken care of yet. And those could easily be the same metal down here, which I think we were using something else. But let's try this steel rust and just see what they look like with that on those. I don't want it to feel like we've just used two different textures on everything. That looks pretty good. We need something for these handles. And I'm going to use this steel rust on the bracket mount for the little monitor here. And let me see if I have something that's rubber. Not metal rubber, as it looks like it says. Just rubber in the standard materials. Oh, that's because we've got L rubber going on there. There's a base plastic. There's some plastic rubber. That's not bad. There's a rubber tire. I like this rubber tire dirty. So we're going to put that on these handles. Let it do its thing. That's looking pretty good. Nice and relatively detailed. None of it's perfect. I'm actually not enjoying a bit of these hard edges. So when we go back in the blender, it's very possible that I will wind up beveling those or something to that effect. I also kind of still want to find a stencil or something to put down here on this floor See, a barcode would be kind of nice somewhere. And real easy to do this stuff because I can just go into our layers here. I'm just going to click on this chair green metal. And then we can throw in a standard layer like so. And can throw this barcode, let's say, somewhere here. We're going to use it as a mask, so therefore it's going to create a material that we can then, of course, change. But on that barcode itself, we're going to change our size here to, if I can find it, from tiling to physical size, which is going to let us make that a little smaller. We're going to change, of course, the rotation to something like that, and I think the scale can come down still a ways. And the color now is adjusted by just going into the material color. We're going to make that kind of gray, and it just adds a little something extra to that. We may never ever see that, but it's kind of cool that we can do that. I don't want to be too hokey. I thought about putting like an atomic symbol on the side, but I think that might be a little hokey. I don't want to be, I mean, I'm hokey, but you know, trying to get away from my hokiness. It's not working. Let's see. There was this on the top. Maybe we can go something kind of like this on the side. So how we wind up doing that and what we do with that, just kind of just drag it over. Use it as a mask is the best way, in my opinion, right now. And make sure that it's being used as a, not with tiling, but as physical size. And then we can come in here and take a look at that. And I think I want the points up and down. I'm not sure. We can rotate this though to where, you know, we can either have the flat, kind of like that. That's pretty cool like that, I guess. And I think the size is kind of okay there. Can drag that. And then, of course, come in here into the material. And I think I'm going to go and use that yellow, kind of a faded yellow like we used yesterday. Something a little more actual yellow like that. That's not bad. I don't know what that signifies, but I think it's kind of, you know, cool that it looks like it could be doing something. And then we'll take the layer. Hopefully I can do what I'm trying to do here. We'll duplicate it. And in this particular one, in the mask, I think I have to do it that way, like that. We can click this and drag it over, and then I can drag it from there back over to this side yet again. There we go. It's kind of a trick to get that over there. And rotate it again, this new one. If I can find my controls, there we go. Rotate that again and stick it in a little better place, maybe like that. And I think that's pretty good to go. When you're clicked off of it, it doesn't have those crosshairs on it anymore, so that's all right, I think. And quite possible you could take that barcode even and duplicate it, so we can put it on the other side, in the same place that it's at, but just over here now. See what that looks like. Obviously we have to rotate it around. I think that's approximately the same place. It's doing a little autosave. This just gives it some kind of history that, you know, it's obviously logged somewhere as a unit or something, and you know they painted that barcode on it to stamp it. This has obviously been sitting here quite a while though, with all these the metal being all beat up and things like that. Something else you might want to do is to come in here and in the actual mask, perhaps. I think you have to use the paint for this. Perhaps not. That's a barcode. I think this is the other barcode. And I think that I have to... Let me see if the erase works on this. The cat is very vocal today. Apologize. Let's see. We'll go into maybe here. Nope. It has to be either on the mask, possibly in the mask. Nope, it's going to have to be there. So I'm just trying to figure out where I'm supposed to paint this guy. So it's got to be in the actual mask. And it's not paint and it's not erase. So I'm not sure which one of these I'm supposed to be using. I'm trying to affect that in a eraser-like way, which I've done a ton of. Let me just grab a different, like an actual brush here. Something that's a little more cracks or something like that. Let's see. Scrolling. Just looking for veins might work. Oh, that's one of the animated brushes. Don't really want to go that route. Let's just start at the top here, and there's broken glass. I know there's one that's called cracks somewhere. Try that one. That might be a little too much for it. Let's see if the erase is going to work. For some reason this is not working. Oh, I need to probably put a paint on here. So let's see if that works. Add a paint node there, and now using the paint. Yeah, that's what we needed. Just make that smaller. Probably use these cracks. Our flow is good. I don't know why it's not working right. I'm gonna go back to erase and just see. Nope. So the paint one is working. It's just doing very little at a time. I'm just hitting this over and over and over and over and over. And you can see it's starting to break up that barcode. So that's good. Come in here the other side now to the other one, which now also needs a paint added to it. And we'll do the same thing here, which is starting to work. Maybe we'll move over and do a little more. And basically, it's kind of erasing in this particular brush's pattern that stuff away from it. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay. So now we want to do the same thing down here on these yellow guys. So on this hexagon, I think it's going to be, okay, this one here, we're going to add a paint as well. And I think we want to add it into the actual into the mask there. Get off that. No. The cat's trying to climb on my camera. You need to get down. So I'm just going to break up the paint a little bit here. It's working pretty good. Hit it a few more times. And that fades that out quite a bit. So we're going to come here again to the mask and add a paint effect to that other one. Rotate around now and knock that one down quite a bit too. And I'm just hitting my mouse over and over and over again to make that happen. And it just breaks up the color and makes it look older. I'm going to look. Let's see what we have here in our metal, which is going to be here. This is the silver edgeware. I'm going to see if I add a paint in there, if I can add a little bit more. Get down. I can add a little bit more silver to this guy without causing myself any issues. Kind of want to break up some of this green paint is what I'm trying to do. It may be only affecting the edges. Not really seeing any effect, so I'm not sure what's going on. So I'm going to try here and go to the green paint itself and just kind of see. Yeah, the edges are going to be on top right here. So within that, this should be working, but it doesn't seem to be. I'm going to try a more harsh brush. It does not seem like we're getting... I'm actually brushing out my metal edges, I just realized. So perhaps this is an erase situation. And that doesn't seem to be helping either. Very interesting. I don't know why it's not letting me, unless this is got, it doesn't have a generator on it, so that doesn't make sense. But it is certainly affecting nothing. Why would that be? Opacity and flow, the hustle and flow. I mean, you can do things like that, but essentially my erasing, well, there's a little of it going on there finally. The erasing is not really affecting anything, which is surprising me. Cracks is only affecting some of the corners and nothing else, which that's very strange. I don't know why that's working the way that it is. This elephant brush not working either, but this dark hatching doesn't either. I'm not sure what just happened here. Why that's not working how I expect it to work. Perhaps only certain brushes work. Well, that's not working still. It was working when I selected this. And now that's not working. So what have I done? Need to be on that paint layer for starters, which I figure. But let's go now again to, what was I using? The cracks brush. Let's see if that works now. And it doesn't. How strange is that? It must be set to a negative, as though it's painting instead of removing. And the erase version of it does nothing. So I'm just wondering now how I could reverse this. And I'm sure that it's got to do with maybe the colors of the, possibly the colors of the alpha itself. Oh, jitter position. And see if it was set to opposite or something here. Let's try an invert though. And that seems to take away the few metal pieces I did have. So we don't want that. So it's not an inversion of the alpha, but for some reason it just does not paint on that surface. So, but when I check this bullet hole, it works. And then when I go back to another brush now, it works. Very strange. So if I select something that's more of like a dirt brush, maybe a little softer, change the size quite a bit, and just kind of come in here and dingy up some of these edges a little bit more, we could do that. But I'm not seeing the metallic that I'm hoping to see. And that's very interesting. So I'm going to get rid of some of that because it just does not look good. This especially this chunk here. And the cracks brush would have been really nice. Maybe a few of these dirt spots would be okay. But see that shiny silver bit right there? I'm not sure why I'm not able to bring those in. Because it should just be painting the silver and or revealing the silver underneath it, which doesn't seem to be doing. Why, she is very vocal today.
Yep, she is.
Okay, so I think now that's probably enough of those. Yeah, there's nothing else in this that would be contributing to that other than this silver finish. And if I do this over and over again, yeah, it's getting down there. It's just, I think that because maybe my opacity technically isn't as opaque as it could be, or maybe it's just the lighting. Very well could be the lighting. Does she have food?
Yeah. I even gave her treats.
Okay, let's see what we got here. That's too much, too big anyway. What was it I just saw? These here. Yeah, none of these crack brushes work, which is very sad because a lot of these are exactly what I would like to have. Oh, well, there it goes. Maybe not there that way, but perhaps a little smaller or a little larger, I mean. Here. Perhaps like that. All right, we'll leave that as that for the moment. And I think overall, I think that's pretty good. Now, I need to figure out what I'm doing about this thing. I don't think I have to do anything here. I believe that can just be done in Blender. I'll just put a movie on that, something I create in After Effects. So, looks good to me. I'm just going to go ahead and export the textures out of here. We're going to put this into our proper folder for the movie. And we're going to call this Time Machine Chair. We'll use that folder, PBR. We're going to use these as PNGs. These are going to have to be 4K because they're just right up front. And we're going to make all the things for that. And we're just going to pop them out now. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time to do it, but that's how it works. Almost done. It's not too long at all. Of course, in today's world, that was an eternity. So let's go ahead and pop these guys back on here. We're going to go from this really lame, almost Easter egg chair to something pretty cool here. And make sure that we're looking at our view here of our actual chairs, or actual textures for our chair. And I'm going to add four image textures here. Just going to paste them in. And then add a normal map node. Plug it in. Color to color, normal to normal. These go roughness, metallic, and color, since we're using a PBR workflow. This is going to be for the chair green metal parts that are all black right now. First thing I'm going to do is the normal, just because Time Machine chair. This is going to be the green metal color is what we want. We're going to use the normal because the normal is really screwed up until it makes everything look really bad. So I'm going to start with it. And there's our normal map. We're going to now go with the roughness. There's a lot of maps just for this one little chair. Go non-color on that. So it takes the roughness down appropriately. Now we go to the metallic for it. Time Machine chair, green metal, metallic. Also make it non-color. Gives the appropriate areas that need to be metallic. And then finally, the color for that. So now we're essentially back to where we were on those particular green parts. You can see our little doodads are sort of hidden there, but it's okay. And that looks good. And then we go down to the seat cushions and do the same thing. Use an image texture. Copy and paste this 4 times. Put in our normal map node here. Color to color. Run this into our roughness, metallic, and color. I like to start with the normal map. So this is for seat cushions. So Time Machine chair, green chair, there's side panels, footrest, blah, blah, blah. Monitor. There we go. Seat cushions. And this is going to be seat cushions normal. Make those non-color, of course. You can already see we've got that rough stuff happening. This is going to be the roughness specifically. So seat cushions roughness. Got to make that non-color. Now we have the appropriate light, roughness and the bumpiness and everything that it needs. And we'll go on to
on the sofa.
on the couch. Only in a live stream does your cat decide to meow the whole time and then throw up on your couch. So okay, so Time Machine chair. This is going to be seat cushions. Was that for metallic? That was for metallic. Seat cushions metallic. And of course, that's going to be non-color. That's why she's walking around meowing.
Oh, she felt sick.
Whoa, and then Time Machine chair. This is going to be the seat cushions color right here. So now we have our color on our seat, and on the green metal parts. We need to go ahead now and do the footrest.
Are you okay, bud?
Texture, image texture. We're going to copy and paste those 4 times as before. So copy, paste, paste, paste. Add in a normal map node. Connect the color to color, normal to normal. And find the footrest for the Time Machine chair. There's the green metal side panels. Footrest right here. Footrest normal. And go with non-color. Go in with our roughness. And footrest roughness. Of course, non-color. You can kind of see a little bit of glints off of it, right about there, maybe right through there, of it working. So we go with metallic yet again. So this is just a process that goes over and over and over and over until you get everything, set up appropriately. There's our metallic, and you can see what is actually considered metallic here in the middle and what is not. The other is where we might have scuff marks and paint. And now, of course, with the actual color, it's plugged in. And we go to the chair, footrest, base color. Now we have the whole thing. And it just goes on like this. Just eating nuggets and making a time machine. That's life. That's living. You want to use the normal map if you're using a normal map, not for this node. The normal node will not work the same way the normal map does if you're using a normal map. So this is for the grip and back. Hope you guys aren't listening to me chew.
I am.
Well, then they definitely are.
Rude.
Don't have to watch, I guess. Unfortunately, you're stuck with it, but... Okay, this is the under chair and the little bracket. So we're not going to really be able to see this a whole lot, but it's going to be this section here. Adding an image texture. Let's see, where's my normal map? So after a while, this gets very monotonous. Time machine chair. This is going to be the under, what was it called? The under chair and brackets. So that's going to be our normal. Not really going to see it, but we'll catch glimpses of it, so it's important that it's there. I could just make it black. Probably would be just fine for what the camera's going to see of it, but trying to be thorough. Okay, and now the metallic. It's at this moment I wish that I hadn't done so many different materials on one object, because I'm having to go through and find them all for every, and there's multiple maps. You can see all these maps just for the chair, but it's fine. And that's be base color. And so there we go. And it's all set up. Like I said, you're only catching the glimpses like that from the side and this front edge a little bit. Could have been black, but hey, whatever. It looks good. What I'm going to wind up doing is, once I finish this, is probably copying and pasting this chair to the other sides, and deleting the originals that are there right now. That way I don't have to re-material, those chairs and so on. So I don't know how well we're broadcasting here, how smoothly we're broadcasting, but hopefully it's going okay. So chair side panels. These are going to be those little silver bits right there. Get those going here. So we add an image texture again. Copy, paste, paste, paste. Let's see a vector. Yeah, I just wanted to do something kind of cool and sci-fi, and this is actually being submitted to a particular platform, a sci-fi platform that I'm not going to say the name of right now. But it's pretty cool. Chair side panels normal. Hopefully you guys will be seeing this. And let's see, roughness. And every time I get a little bogged down in the work, I have to remind myself what this is for, and then I feel better. Roughness, there we go. That it is a real thing and not a pipe dream, I hope. There we go. And chair sides, that would be metallic. And those are very metallic, as you can see. And then once we put the color, they will look much cooler. Side panels, emissive, height, roughness, that's side panels. Where's my side panels base color? Right there. Okay. Those get an emissiveness just because they are metallic. I think they kind of have it to where they sort of glow a bit, metallically. Is that a word? I can try and see if that texture does anything for us. Let's just check it out as an emission texture. I'm just going to throw it in here to emission. I think I put it, yeah, straight into there. And then we can use the emission that it created. We're probably not going to need it. It's probably not doing anything for us, but you can see it doesn't really look any different with or without it. I'm just going to double check that though. Boop. Nope. Not really doing anything. But let's just include it because, well, why not? It's there. All right. We can just take up all the processing power and RAM we want to, even for nothing. Alrighty, so let's go to the monitor bracket, which is going to be this little guy right here. I wonder if I control V now. Oh yeah, I've already got it set up. I didn't have to go in there and find that, so that works a little bit faster. Doesn't hurt my feelings. Into the normal. This is going to be monitor bracket right here. Get that going. This is going to be our roughness. You know, I could save myself some clicks, I just realized. Let's see, monitor bracket, roughness. I'll show you where. Put this back into non-color. I'm going to connect the metallic here. Now if I go to open one and go, hey, look. Time machine chair. So monitor bracket, metallic, non-color, and then of course the base color for it right there, monitor bracket, base color. So that's good and done now, as you can see. So now we need the monitor frame. So we'll just throw down some of these. Here and add in our normal map node. This is the monitor frame, normal, non-color. This is going to be the roughness. Monitor frame, roughness, non-color, metallic, here we go, and of course the base color. And there we go. All good to go. You see the nice paint scratches on there and everything. Looks good. So we have the screen now. And this is where we're going to wind up creating something for this that'll have a glow and everything, and that will look cool. I think for the moment, just for fun though, I will throw on a little emission here. Maybe make it kind of maybe a pinker color. That looks a little unicorn though with everything else. Let's throw a little green on there instead. At least it is in somewhat the same family of light of you know, the cool colors or whatever. It's supposed to warm. That's working out okay. Now, the problem with this is that I'm sure this one in the back is UV'd the same as the one in the front, but these guys here are not. So what I need to do is copy this chair and paste it where the others are at. And I'm going to try to look from the top here and rotate this around this central arm. But I'm going to have to move that origin point so that when I rotate it, it rotates from the center as much as possible anyway. Now that we've duplicated it, so I'll just rotate this around. Did it in the same spot. Pick the other version of it, I hope. We're going to check here. Delete. There we go. So we're going to do the same thing again. And I don't know. I think I need to move the origin of the original one, which would save me some time. Put right down the center, both these. I guess approximately here. And now duplicate this chair, revolve it around 180 degrees, delete the other one. And then do the same again. Duplicate. Rotate it 90 this way. Not sure what's going on there, because that chair and that chair are obviously not meeting up correctly. So I'm going to take this one now and shift it outward to where they pretty much do. We're going to delete the other one. Be pretty good to go there, I guess. I'm gonna, I think, move this chair slightly to the right to make sure it's not intersecting any of those other cables. And it's a little bit more centered now, I believe. Something like this. All right, so that's coming along pretty good. You see it with the 4 chairs now? Textured.
Oh. Holy cow.
Coming along.
Oh wow, that looks really cool.
Would you check the live stream of mine on YouTube?
Yeah.
And just see that it's doing it okay? It's giving me a little red light down at the bottom. I don't know if it's because I'm actually streaming. So I've got a blue light for that. But I'm wondering if it's giving me the red light because it's not streaming smoothly. Okay, so now, sorry about that. Let's figure out what we're lacking here. We got this ring. So I'm going to select the inverse here. Hide all of this. Also, I want to save real quick. It's enough work that, you know, you kind of want to save. And I'd like all these pieces here to be metal. That's going to be a huge pain, to be honest. So I'm going to create a new material, call this green ring. And that's what this one will be considered, like so. We'll just make that more, a little more drab just to give us a idea of what we're doing. And then try in edit mode to see what we can select with the Control Plus, and hopefully it's gonna, oh good, it does see those as separate bits. That's saving our bacon a little bit. I'm gonna see though if possibly it will also, oh darn, I was trying to select stuff that was only, let's see if we can at least do this. So one of those is bleeding into the other. So obviously this one works. See if this one works. This one does work. So we can do all of those guys separately, but the straps and here, evidently we're going to have to do manually, which I'm not a fan of. So I'm going to go ahead and select a tiny bit of each one of these. My cat is just in you cannot do anything today, Dad, because I'm gonna mess it up. She's in that mode. So let's not get that. We're gonna get this, this, and this. all the way around. We'll worry about the other bits in a minute, but these would be kind of annoying. They are still annoying, but these would be way more annoying otherwise. It's going to be a little tedious for a second. Okay. Sometimes it just, you know, is a little difficult like this. You find ways to cut the time, though, if you can. I just need, you know, 1 or 2 polygons from each one of these areas. And this will allow me to expand my selection and get all those little parts fairly quickly. I gotta be careful how crazy I get here in my selection process. Just need 1 of each kind of thing, you know? It may seem like I'm needlessly jumping in and out, but sometimes I can't get the angle I want if I don't jump out, and sometimes it will not let me move quickly if I'm zoomed in, and sometimes you can't see what you're trying to do if you're too far zoomed in. So I jump in and out a lot just to realign my view, and I've kind of gotten used to doing that. I'm trying not to do it right now so that nobody gets seasick watching it. Okay, just selecting and selecting away. And we are where we need to be. Okay, so that we're going to start with those pieces, and all I'm going to do is hold Control and plus and go up a bunch of times, and we have selected those entire bits for now. This is going to be a new material. We're going to call this, let's just call this ring metal. Okay, and we're going to assign it to all those pieces. And see, now those are all a different color. We can come in here and select some more of these, which is going to be highly annoying, I am certain. I want to see if I select just one of those where it gets me, if I Control plus up. Okay, so I am going to have to select this section, this is going to be so much fun. So much fun. And it's because I'm trying to get a level of detail that would be cool. The cat's just really not happy today. Think she might be have a little tummy ache or something. Whoops, what am I doing? Control Shift. Okay, so that's going to take a minute, but it's going to be cool that we're doing it. I wish there was a way I could select these just a little bit more easily. I'm going to see if I can get away with not selecting certain parts. And okay, so I have to select these guys no matter what. So we're going to go ahead and select a little of that, a little of this, a little of that, those as well. not that. Okay, so it's not horrible. It's not fun though. So a little this, obviously this. So that should work. Yeah, it's not so bad as long as I, when I get used to what I'm trying to do, it's a little bit easier. Okay. Just a matter of making the rounds, getting everything good and picked. I'm trying to see if there's a way I can have to not zoom in at all. So far, so good. Just got to make sure I have it all selected. In the end, that should work. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's any way I can get the fewest clicks possible. Oh, Lord. Hang on. I deselected the rest of them. Okay, here we go. That. And then shift select. I didn't hold my shift last time, so of course it deselected everything else. Potentially a disaster, you know. All right, cool. These. I think that's, yeah, okay. So I can do one here. I can get just these tail end pieces and then just these two. And that should, oops, that should, let's see if it will get everything. And it does. Good to know. So this, these, and these, and this, and these, and these, but not that. Cool. Pain. Pain. Cool. Not too horrible. Oops. Not that for sure. So what have I selected that I shouldn't? The middle. Float in there. Deselect you. You and you. So how's everybody doing today? I don't know who's watching. Go ahead and comment or whatever you like. Ask questions. Make sure you like and subscribe and all that good stuff. You know you want to. Just kind of zoom here a little better. I keep accidentally doing the Shift plus, which changes my view, which I don't want to do. Oh, I also deselected, which I definitely didn't want to do. Need to Shift select these puppies. Could just go here and here. Probably don't have to do all that extra selecting there. Works for me. There's still essentially a half ring left to do. My favorite. Such joy. Let's see. Select these and these. These. And these. Nope. Accidentally selected stuff here. We don't want any of that or that. Gotta be very sure that things like that aren't selected. Hopefully that's all good, which it is. We'll come and get these guys. This is my day right here all the time. This is what I do. It's just selecting polygons. Yay me. Here we go. Getting those done. No, it's just part of the job. Quote unquote. Shift select those and those. And these and these. But not you. Good to go. And these. And these. Did you check the broadcast?
Yeah, and it was broadcasting.
Smoothly, audio-wise too?
Yeah.
Because I never saw you come on.
Oh, yeah, I left you a comment.
Really? Okay. There are no comments here though.
Really?
No.
Weird.
Oh, I see it there on top chat, but I don't see it in. Oh, now I do. Oh, nice. Okay. Well, thank you. So I'm going to shift select those and those. Our impossible cat, never satisfied. She's the reason why Prince wrote that song. Why does she scream at her mother? This is what it sounds like when Bug cries.
Hey, Bug. Don't let life get you down.
Yeah, that's Daddy's job. Let him get you down. Or life get him down. Never mind. Let's see if this works. Okay, good to go. Make sure I've still got my other ones selected. We're nearly done. We got 4 more sections. I had to go and get all sassy and detailed. Those. That one was not gotten. Let me see if I got that one at least. Get these guys, and these, but not you, and you, but not you. Okay, making sure we're selected everywhere. I'm sure I'm going to forget one little bracket or something like that, but they're so small that they're not really going to be seen. My cat needs therapy, I think. Yes, you do. And Those look good. So that is all of those. I think we're going to go ahead and give this the ring metal as well. I did miss a section right there, so that's easy enough to go back and grab. Do not want that one. We'll grab these and these, and make sure that I also assign those the same. And I believe now I'm just going to come back to object mode and have a look. You can see how those are sectioned off pretty nicely. The little metal pieces everywhere. We'll probably need to do these as little labels here too. So back in, oh my gosh, bug. Is there a light on the roof or something? Because that's what she's not acting like. She wanted to get up on the speaker, and there must be a light somewhere. What's your problem? The cat is very upset. All right. So now I'm going to see about a man, about a horse. No, I'm going to grab these. I probably can't control plus those. Nope. So I'm going to have to select those from the top and do them manually. But these will be pretty easy because I can just do that for each one. Let's just go ahead and start over because I don't know if I have the other one deselected yet. These are pretty easy. Thank goodness, because after that last one, I will have to go back and grab those tie-down belts, I think. I think that just will look pretty nice to do those, and they're going to be possibly a huge pain. We'll find out, won't we? Okay, those and this. The thing is about this is if this time machine looks fake, it blows the entire show. It will look like some obviously digital prop thrown in, and I don't want that. I don't want it to feel like that or look like that, so I don't want people's, what do you call it, the suspension of disbelief to be unsuspended. Okay, that looks like I'm not selecting all of those, so I'm going to have to come back and see. That's top and bottom, top and bottom. Okay, so I started missing them here. Okay. Oops. Good. And these are going to be little metal plates, I think, of some kind. These are going to have their own texture, though. We're just going to create a new one. Call these plates. Why not? Plates without the D. Because plates duh is just a little weird. There we go. We got our plates. And those, of course, you can come in here and change color like this, and they all change at the same time, which is kind of nice. Because they're supposed to. And I think, like I said, these little straps that go to these little things would be kind of nice. Just saying. If we did... You want, cat? It'd be kind of nice if they could be done. But I'm going to have to live with the fact that they could come back around the back. But here's the thing. I don't think we're seeing much of the back anyway. So I'm just going to go around and grab these guys just like this. And sort of live with the fact that they'll be imperfect. But the thing is, they're so small in comparison to everything else. We're never going to see, you know, the sides of them or anything like that. But that black line going across them will be pretty cool. to indicate or suggest, of course, that these are straps that are holding this thing together or holding down some type of hose clamp or something like that, pipe clamp, which is the general idea there. So I'm not getting the sides of these, but I don't really want to or feel like I need to. I'll try a little experiment here in a second to see if there's a way to do it, but if it's not immediate and quick, it's not worth it, given the fact that we're not even really going to see them anyway. So what I'm going to try and do is just Control plus up once, and yeah, see what it's doing. We don't want that. So I'm going to live without seeing those sides. We're going to create a new material, and we're going to call this straps, and assign it to those. And when we make those dark now, you'll see that cool kind of effect it has there. Back in object mode, and that will be, I think, all the materials that we need to generate for this. I was thinking about doing these rings in another metal that was under these again, but honestly, I'm not so sure. I think that the rusty stuff that I put, the tank metal, will look really good on those. So we have 4 materials just on this one ring, so I think that's more than enough. So we're going to go back here now and unhide, if I can find it, show hide hidden objects there. That's my Alt H. It's going to take a second to pop up. Then we'll save everything. And get kind of the idea what's going to be shown there. And hopefully you can see how the back sides of these straps don't even matter. None of that is going to show in any way. So we're going to take that ring. We are going to save one more time.
Are you eating chicken nuggets while you're doing that?
What?
Are you eating chicken nuggets while you're
Yes, why?
just wondering?
Okay, well, did you need to stop me to ask me that, really?
No.
If I'm being rude, I apologize, but
You're not. I'm just.
okay. Well, I just don't see the point of that. Okay, we're going to export this out as an FBX. This is going to be bottom ring. But no, I'm not, because first things first, we have to make a UV for this. And I can tell you right now, this one is going to be screwed up big time. So we'll delete it. This one is still very incorrect. We're just going to smart UV project that one. It's going to take a minute because for some reason all ring-like things take forever because it breaks them up in so many sections. It's ridiculous. And now we're going to come back here, save one more time, and go ahead and export that ring out as an FBX to do its textures. I'll call this bottom ring. And we should be good to go. Now over in Substance Painter here, I'm going to start a new project. I'm going to select the bottom ring, do it as a 4K document for now, and bring it in. It's going to take a minute because the UV is kind of over complex. Why I've chosen eating over not eating is because they could listen to me chew or they could watch me pass out.
Oh, yeah, I'd rather not see you pass out,
All right, there we go. Took a little longer than I expected. I'm going to pull this over so we can see it a little bit better. And we're going to have to go through each one of these maps again and give it its appropriate channels here. Just in case we're working with materials that have these channels, and I always like to include ambient occlusion on everything. So with that done, we jump into the baking section. This can probably be 2K. We can go up as high as 8K in here, but that would be ridiculous for what we're doing. And we're gonna bake those textures. If I was creating some type of spaceship hull where the camera was going to be flying right up against it, and it was one big giant object that it was up against that had to be super detailed, I would consider one 8K texture. But not for anything like this. And not even 4K really, because it's at the bottom. It's not, the camera's not right on it, directly at it. So that's another reason that we're going down to 2K. It is 3/4 of the way done. It's basically taking in and calculating the shape, position, everything of the model. And now we can go back to painting mode and go find some of our stuff here. I'm going to put in tank. We have our nice tank green. Cat's wanting to be petted now. She's very demanding, this cat. Our whole house revolves around her. There's nothing in there. We're going to check here, and there we go. This will be placed onto the actual tank metal green area. It's going to take a minute because this is a 2K texture and the UV is very ridiculously detailed. You see how nicely it picks the color and everything and where that needs to be and how it needs to be. Over in our layers here, we're going to take we're going to look for well, let's find that silver metal that we had before, the rusty metal or whatever it was called. Maybe a different one. Steel rust sounds pretty good though. We'll put it on all of these metal parts that, like the little latches and stuff. Maybe it's a bit too big in its bumpiness, it looks like to me. So we just come in here, find the metal, maybe the base metal. Let me move this over and find out. The bumps and scratches and so forth are the things I'm really going to need to change the size of. If anything, I think that's probably okay. This rust perhaps doesn't seem to need to be moved around at all. And this edges maybe doesn't seem to be doing some things that I would expect to need to change. I'm looking for scale up in here. Alright, so that's just kind of dependent on the resolution. This is really at the bottom though. Not horribly worried about that. Plates to worry about a minute. Straps is what we need for sure next. And just something that's kind of a black, yeah, even with a bit of that metal edge wear, totally fine. And that looks pretty good. Alright, I'm happy with that. That works for me. The metal looks pretty good. It's nice and rusty along those parts. And then the plates. So I'm thinking for the plates, just some type of painted metal, and I believe that I can change the color of this particular one. Maybe to kind of a yellowish orange is what my idea was. Not too gaudy. Just something that breaks it up a little bit from the green and yellow and so forth. And there's nothing on those little things at this point. I think that looks pretty interesting though. And we can come in here. We should be able to change that paint color. There's the paint. There is the shiny paint. And we should, there we go, be able to come over here and maybe do it as a little bit more of an orange color. Kind of like that. I think looks pretty good. I am pretty happy with that overall. Perhaps we should do some dirt coming up from the bottom since this thing's been in here for a long time. Let me see. Close this out. And let's go to the green ring. And up here, we'll add just a fill layer. We'll make this kind of a darker color than the green so that it's easier to see. Kind of a grime color like that. And then we'll add a mask to the whole thing, but we're not going to add a regular mask. We're going to add a smart mask that will be kind of like what's called ground dirt. This may work. Let's try it. And it'll take all this grime off, but only put it to where the mask is applied. Kind of like that. Looks like we're getting it kind of in backs of these cracks more than we're getting it at the bottom. And that could just be the world position or whatever it is called of the mask. I kind of want it more toward the front, not in the inside, but on the outside of the ring. So we're going to find out how to do that. A little bit of grunge like that is fine, but let's add more. I don't care if the inside is completely solid black as long as the outside has some stuff on here. Let me find out where these curve position whatever gradient is going to be. So that's not too bad there. The inside I'm not worried about. I'm only looking at the outside. So I think that works. Looks kind of like it had some kind of grime or grease going on. So we're going to go and export these dudes out. They look good for me. Let's just get over here into our folder. We'll create a folder called bottom ring. And keep in mind, I'm having to do all of this stuff for each and every single piece on this thing. I've narrowed it down a little bit by combining the lights, combining the chairs, obviously, copy and pasting them. But quite a bit of these are individual single wires and all kinds of crazy things. Okay, so there's that. Good to go. We'll go back to Blender here now. And in Blender, we will jump over into our shading tab and start putting all this stuff back on. I'm going to invert select everything here real quick and hide everything. That way we've only got the ring. Back in our shading tab, we'll just start adding our image textures here. A little copy and paste action going on to get these how they need to be. The normal map node, just the same as before. And these are going to be the bottom ring, and we need the bottom ring straps is what we've selected over here. So bottom ring straps normal. And that will be non-color, of course. A roughness Our metallic. Our color is going to make everything black. We'll go with the roughness here. And this is the straps roughness. This will be the straps metallic. And of course the straps color. There we go for that. Now we move to the plates. And just pop down 4 of these guys. And then the normal map. Plates normal. Non-color. Roughness. Whoops. Metallic. And our base color, of course. So the roughness. Metallic. And of course our base color. Now we got our orange back, so that's all good to go there. Now the ring metal, this is going to be the silver parts. Back, adding in that normal map again. Back to the normal. And this is the ring metal. I always got to remind myself what I'm actually doing pretty often. Okay, and just so many things to look at, especially all day long. Ring metal, this is going to be the roughness. Ring metal metallic, which this will really change their appearance because they're based mostly on the metallic channel. So ring metal metallic, go figure. And of course this has to be set to non-color. And they really start to have more of a vibe. And then now of course the color makes all the difference in the world in the end here. Bottom ring, ring metal base color, and boom. So we're good. These unfortunately won't show on the inside, but we will have all these little locky pieces on the outside that do. And then the green part, which is our actual color, the main body of it. It's a good way to put it, I guess. And add our normal map node. And remember guys, this is just one piece of about 60 pieces that I have to do this for. I've gotten quite a few of them done though, but I'm just trying to explain it's not a simple, easy process when you do it right. This is the green ring normal. Put that in non-color. This is the green ring roughness. Non-color, and you can see that it gets rough and it's kind of shiny in some parts where the oil or whatever is in between those cracks. Bottom ring, this is going to be our green ring metallic. Non-color, of course. And then the color. And we'll be done with this part. Base color. There we go. That is that piece right there. All right, so back into layout mode. We're going to now come out and show all the hidden objects, which will take a second, given the fact that it's got a lot to process, and we'll save that. But it looks pretty good. There's that green ring right around the bottom now. I hope that's not an issue, that those chairs look a little embedded in that ring. It's just, you know, as far as we know, that's an actual cutout going around that ring. So looks good to me. So there's this section, which not these caps here are little separate pieces, but this section is its own bit. So I'm going to invert the view of this, or this selection, I'm sorry, invert. We're going to hide everything else except for this piece. This is where we get onto, you know, more materials and stuff yet again. I'm not going to worry about any of this on the bottom, I don't think. It would show if we took it in the air, but you know, you never know. I might actually get some weird low angle as if it's flying through a wormhole. I don't know. It's not what my plan was, but we could do a wormhole shot. I probably should get the bottom just to be safe. As far as I know, though, we're going to have to take this into edit mode and hopefully be able to select some of this stuff with the Control Plus. Nope, it's not going to be nice. This is going to be a hassle. Yay, me. This piece we definitely can do that with. This piece. Maybe that one. I'm doing some assuming here though. But I'm pretty sure that all these pieces can be selected in that way. And they should be fine for those other materials. Let me just see. Control, for selection wise anyway. Make sure it's only selecting those parts, which it looks to be true. I'm going to see now. Yeah, that won't work that way, but got me a good amount of the way there. But you know, I'm going to back off on that and do those separate. Those will probably be all the same way. I'm wondering if this, nope, it's gonna have to be manual as well. Okay, so those now, we'll just give these guys their own, I hope that works. Let's see, we're gonna have their own color. Oh, not a group. We need to go to materials. Give that a material and call that cylinders. I don't know what they are, so we'll call them cylinders and assign to that. Then we're going to select at this point, I guess the whole thing. I think this would work this way. The whole thing. And we're going to, you know, I better do this right. Let's go body, and we're going to assign everything to that. And then jump out of this, select just the things I know I need. Those for the outside. We'll also do this one, this one. Let's see if those select properly. Just gonna hit that about 10 more times and make sure everything is selected inside and out. Okay, so those we're just gonna call cylinders. So we're gonna create a new one. We'll call this cylinders. And we're gonna assign that color to those. The body now, I'm gonna go ahead and just make this that sort of an off drab for us to realize what we're doing. Those are the cylinders. I'd really like to get the metal on those cylinders separate, but you know how that's gonna go. It would be cool to, let me see if this is gonna work. Yeah, we can do that. So boom, boom, boom. Let's go back to my get those. That's probably all we can get with that. And we'll call these bolts. And anything silver, we're going to use that bolt material on, I think. Assign it to those. So now I'm going to have to start doing some manual selection here, like that, which, you know, works, but see how far this kind of selection is going to get us. Yeah, we don't want that or that. We do want that ring. So it's a little tedious here, but comes with the territory, basically. Okay, that works. We're gonna have to go the underside of this too, even though probably never gonna see it. Just to do it right. Make sure we get all that. Okay. And just because Sean wants to have his cake and eat it too. All right, there we go. And we'll include these. Hopefully that works. Okay. Include this, but not you. Sorry, buddy, you're getting left out. Not that. But we do want. Nope, not that. Get rid of those. But we do want that, but not any of this. I gotta make sure I go under here and check, because those will also get selected without my express permission. That was total accidental there. And it's a little tedious, like I say, but can be for a good thing. Just have to make sure we're including certain things that should be included. I am missing Andor.
Is it that start again?
Nope. That'd be Mandalorian that's starting again.
Oh.
There we go. That's good there. So there, but not you. And there. And these. And these. Oh. There we go, but not you. Let's get you and you. Being a little finicky.
This chicken enchilada.
And we'll get this off and then this. What?
What?
What are you saying over there?
Oh, I just said I missed chicken enchilada dinner.
Ah. Relevant. I got it. Which was total sarcasm. Yeah, I think. All right, and so there. And this is all just to make sure I get one particular edge. Which, why am I doing this? Okay, so there's that. Let's see how much more is required. It looks like it's going okay, but most of the stuff we're missing is the top and bottom stuff. There's places it keeps breaking. See there, but not you. There. Nope, not that. This. And this. And you. And you all. And you all. Not you. Little bit tedious. So you, and you, but not you. You. Not you. Okay, I'm almost done. Not you. All right, that's it for that particular ring. That is also going to get our bolts assigned to it. That was pain in the butt. And I think that's okay for that. I kind of want at least the caps of these things silver. So let's see what we can do there. Don't think these work that way, so I'm going to have to manually select and deselect stuff. That's going to be a little bit of a pain. It's all right though. It's manageable. I'm in pain, but is it manageable? Well, I guess. Well, then why are you complaining? Like I would ever answer that way. Okay. There we go. There. Whoops. Not you. There. And there. And you and you. Okay, I just want to make sure I get these particular set of bolts. Said a little bit tedious, but not so bad, especially when you come in at angles like that where you can just sort of sweep across and get everything you need. As long as it's not overlapping something that you shouldn't be getting, it should be okay. Like this and this and that and that. Some of those are almost hard to see. And you, let me make sure I've got all my other ones still selected. Good. And you, all you, and all you. Oh, there's one and two little tiny ones right there. All you guys. There's all of those. Watching Lovecraft Country. It's pretty good.
Oh, I like that.
I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but I actually really like it. I highly recommend it. All right, so we're going to assign bolts to those guys too. I think those are okay like that. I don't even know what's going to show on a lot of this, so that's probably pretty good. This feels like it needs something going on here. Let me see what this will get me. Perhaps control plusing this maybe. Let me see what that'll do. This, just one each of these little guys to start with should get each one of those. I don't know if this will get what I need of those. Just trying to do the add-on top type pieces, which I have done. That's good. Let's see where this is at. I think that will work. So this will get the bolts also assigned to them. Works for me. That's probably gonna be so dark you're never gonna see it. I say let's go ahead and get this section of stuff good to go. And if we can, the actual bolts, imagine that. Like so. That was actually easier than I expected it to be. Which is always a phrase I love to be able to say and never can. Alright, so those are good. That, and that. And we have one more little bolt here. We can be a little picky about how you're able to select them. All that gets bolts assigned to it as well. Let's see what else we got. I kind of want to put a darker center into that. What do I have? Oh, those cylinders are those upright pieces. Oh, okay. So they're probably okay. If I have to, I can spray a little black in there, I guess. Works just like it does in the real world. Let's see if we can apply bolts to these. That would be pretty sweet, but I think these are going to be an actual part of the bigger mesh. I mean, I don't want to make a mesh of it or anything. I know. Absolutely hilarious. Okay, that's going to get me in trouble, so never mind on those. Let me see what this will do. No, big no. All right, so what's going to get us somewhere? Let's find out. If we just select the one that goes out, which is not what we want. I believe all of this is in fact what I don't want it to be, darn it. Okay. So this I can select like so and like so and like so, which saves me time. This, not what I want to do. Perhaps like so. Just trying to make this easier on myself. Having to select all the polys for each one of these things. It's a huge pain in the butt. So basically kind of wanting to make all of this have the bolt texture on it as well, since they're just like some ridges that, you know, could use enhancement. Probably, possibly. Just keep selecting away until Judgment Day. I was trying to rhyme it. Oops. Deselect, darn it. There we go. There we go. My belt is pinching my fat body. Alright. Get those like so. And like so. Got to undo those. All right, so these selected, there's got to be a faster way to be deselecting these, but for now, we'll use that. I'm going to also just kind of select all these guys and then select their caps, as though these are extra bits sticking out of a different material, which this is going to be yet again also loads of fun to do because of all the tiny ones that are easy to miss. Because I'm in upside down, this selection is kind of in reverse, very strange, or the rotation anyway. It's very odd. All right, so these. Guy's singing about his crutches. These help me from falling. All right, so there we go. Get these. Okay, bye. A lot of work for just a couple of little things to grab here. That's what all the guys say. Okay, just these and these. I think that's it for that one.
Oh my god.
Huh?
Nothing, I got a little bit crazy with some paint.
These, and that one. Wouldn't be so bad, but there's these tiny, tiny little polygons that keep hiding from me. Like that guy. And that guy. Okay. Try to get the ones down at the corners because they will splay out and catch all the other ones. Like so. And not too long now. So if you select those corners, All right, let's see. Any more? Nope, that should be it. And then now I can give those the bolts assignment as well. So it looks pretty good. And I think that I can live with that. So we have 3 materials on this guy, and hopefully that will be enough. The cylinders, I mean, the bolts will probably be more, well, let's say the cylinders, let's make those a little bit more dark. Like that. That's kind of how that will wind up playing out, I think. One way or the other. So we'll jump back into object mode. We will make sure in our UV editing, we'll get rid of this nasty one. We'll take this standard one now and select all these polys, making sure that we are in X-ray mode, which we are. We're going to unwrap this, the Smart UV project, and there we go. So now back into here, we are going to save, and then we're going to export this guy out as an FBX into Substance Painter again. So FBX, select it only. We're going to call this bottom cap thing. Booyah. Always got to be super clever with my names, I tell you what. And here we're going to start a new file. We're going to go PBR like we have. This is going to be bottom cap thing. We're going to use a 4K document, and that's good. Preserve, blah, 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 discard, and bring it in. So we'll have to make our 3 separate materials have bake each one of those things down. And for some reason, we had a problem loading that. So let's try to re-export it again for whatever reason. I'm just going to also set my origin to the geometry. Oh, I know what we did. I still had all those other things selected. So we're going to set our origin to the geometry. Let me unhide the rest of my objects just real quick here. Objects, show hide, hidden. I want to make sure we don't have them selected, because if I do, that's what our problem is. Which is very possible I am selecting all those objects. Yes, they are still selected. So if we deselect everything, select only that cap piece, and we export that now. Bottom cap thing selection only. So if we had all of them selected, it'd be like, I don't know what you want me to do. We export that. So now we can come in here, start the new, select the correct object at 4K document size, and boom, discard the old one. And loading failed again. This is new. I close this Logitech down. Well then, what problem we got going on? The UV says it's correct. I'm going to go ahead and Smart UV project that again. I'm going to look down here in our UV sets. I'm actually going to delete that UV set, and I'm going to go ahead and Smart UV project that again. Perhaps there was something wrong because it was still selecting those other things when we did this before. And hopefully this isn't going to give us any problem now. I'm going to double check on the export settings too, to make sure as an FBX, this is going to be cap thing, selected objects only. Looks good to me. You know what I might do? Let's try this one more time. If it doesn't work this time, I'm going to rename it. So we're going to go new. I'm going to say bottom cap thing 4. That's fine. That's fine. No cameras, none of that garbage. Discard the original, and there we go. Okay. Good to go. So it was that other UV set that was the problem. So body, we're going to go in here now and set up our maps. Ambient occlusion and displacement. We need the other one. Ambient occlusion and displacement. And one more ambient occlusion. And you guessed it. Okay, and we're going to bake those. We go into the baking space here. We're going to make sure that these are set to probably... this is so like not visible if you look at this. We probably do need though we'll do at least a 2K on that. So 2K right there. That should be good to go. Everything's good, 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 good. And we bake. And we wait. Always have to wait when we bake. I'm not into that, but I mean, I meant like buns and donuts. Do you bake donuts?
Sure.
Sure, she says.
Donuts are actually fried.
That's right, they are fried, so never mind. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I've eaten some donuts in my time, though. But you know, I haven't had donuts in probably 9 months.
Really?
At least.
Do you have Krispy Kremes out here?
Mm-hmm.
Those are always big back then.
Okay, so we're good there. Return to painting mode. Now we have our 3 textures, the body, the bolts, and the cylinders. Let's start with the body because that is going to get our green tank paint again, which is going to be in our smart materials right there. Throw that on the body part, and let it process, and we will have our nice rusty green tank look. I just thought that the military, old school military look might be kind of cool for this. All right, that looks pretty good. And now on the bolts, I say we go with the darker color that we were using before, which I think was called, let me look up metal. It's going to be in there, either in here or in their standard materials, but I'm pretty sure it's in the smart materials. There's worn metal. That's kind of a cool look. Let's just see what it looks like. Bolts. Might be kind of neat. But then again, that's the stuff I thought maybe I was going to use the silvery stuff on, but that doesn't look... I don't hate that. It's not a bad look. And then let's try to get something like this iron old maybe on our cylinders and see what that looks like. I might swap those 2 textures out though, because these are pretty big to be so shiny. Yeah, I kind of don't like that, I don't think. I mean, they look kind of important like that, but I also don't like the scale of the bumpiness. So let's remove that one, and if we're going to stay silvery, let's use the rusty steel and see what that does. Also pretty low res, but let me see what I can scale here. This is obviously done with a gradient. I don't know if there's a scale attribute in that, but we can use this one. I think this is the one before that I actually couldn't scale those bumps down and it bothered me. Looks like those bumps are not scaling, to be honest. Which, that's not really gonna work. Those look very fake. So let's kill that particular material on this. Find something a bit more appropriate. Maybe this steel ruined might work on them. Once again, like I said, the resolution is not super high on this piece, so might have to go back and rebake at a higher resolution, but we'll see. Let's see what that's going to start doing here by doing what I am doing. This is not giving us a scale on that guy. It's just edge highlights anyway. This is not either. This might. These are the bumps, but those are not the bumps I'm looking for. Maybe within the grunge here, there's the pattern, parameters, tile by ratio, tiling. We want to go tiling more, or do we want to go less? I think more, like that. And then the roughness dirt can be made smaller, of course. And the base can be made smaller, which isn't really affecting it. It's really just that grunge map here of the bumps, if you see, which honestly we don't even need. I just don't know if I like these parts being silver or not. They're okay. I mean, it doesn't, I don't hate them like this. I think they're okay. I think they're okay like that. I am wondering now, though, if those bolts should be a different color. I think I'm okay with it. Let's go with that. So now we're going to export these textures over to the proper folder. This is going to be the bottom cap thing, is what I'm calling it again. I am tired. Those are that. These are going to be, let's go do with a 2K on that, I suppose, and export those out. And we'll go back to Blender once those are green and bring those in for that cap thing. Let's go into shading and start creating our nodes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Adding in our lovely normal map node. Color to color, normal to normal. Booyah. Okay, and then roughness there, and metallic there, and color there. And this is going to be bottom cap thing. We need, what are we on? The cylinders right now. Cylinders. I think I'm on, oops, that was, I picked that for the base color, so we need base color on those. They will look wrong until the normal is correct, so go to here, bottom cap thing, cylinders normal, and then we'll get that turned non-color, which is starting to work. And then the image, the roughness for those, cylinders roughness, non-color, and then of course the metallic. Cylinders, metallic, non-color, and those are as they will be. So I don't, yeah, I like those. They actually look pretty good. Works for me. Okay, and then now we're going to do the body just to get that out of the way. So adding in our nodes, 3 and 4. With the normal map vector thrown in there. I just named him Hector. Hector has no hair. Oh, you're not allowed to say that now, by the way. Okay, let's see. This is the body. We're going to go with the normal for the body. And we're going to go non-color on that. You can see now we have this nice bumpiness to it. The roughness. bottom cap thing, body roughness. Do I just not have it connected, I guess. So that is non-color. Looking pretty good. And then the metallic can be the body metallic, non-color, and of course the base color and the body base color. All right, so that works. Just want to see what that looks like under some more actual, close to actual lighting. Yeah, that's starting to look pretty good. See, a lot of those things that were additions on that, all those bolts, extra bits, I took a long time to select them. Not even the ringer on the bottom shows, just these little things that those pieces go into show. Those caps we'll have to do next. I don't even know what this piece is. This is a whole collection of things that we're gonna have to do up here. Yeah, that's just crazy. All right, cool. Well, we're gonna end the stream here. I hope you guys are enjoying seeing this time machine model come to into being. It's gonna be a really cool little film once it's done, and we'll try to have you guys along for the journey, as they say. And I'm not going to tell you to enjoy it. You do whatever you want to do with it. All right, and it looks like for some reason you can't see. There I am. You guys couldn't see me the whole time in the bottom of the frame. That's all right. Well, I'm here now. All right. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one.